Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. It is good to have this person back in the studio after a 4-month sojourn, which we can literally spend the whole time talking about that, but I think we're going to want to talk about Villa Musica. It is Fiona Chatwin. She is the executive and artistic director for this organization. How long have you been there?
Oh my gosh, as the founder,
okay.
I am 20 years coming up.
20 years, yeah, 05, right?
Yeah, 05 to 2025. It's going to be our 20th anniversary next year.
Oh my God, congratulations. Joined by my co-host who loves to be in the space. She has acted, she has directed, she has written, she's done everything in between. She's also the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and that is my good friend, Kristen Fogel.
Thanks for that beautiful introduction. So many.
It is true.
That was a good one.
You
said nice things this time.
That's all true stuff.
Appreciate that.
Why don't you get started?
Let's get started. Yeah, let's just talk about the mission of the organization.
Well, our mission's based entirely in access. Mm-hmm. So we're a music education organization, and 20 years ago, I realized that there wasn't enough access to music education, that people could really get their teeth in and try out an instrument, try to sing, do something. And so that's how Villa Musica was born.
Very cool. And what was your background prior to that?
So I arrived in the States to do my doctorate in music, which is a very highfalutin title for 6 years of hard work at UCSD, and came out of that degree and thought, I don't know if academia is for me. Mm-mm. What about this idea of a community music center?
Yeah.
And so kind of took that route, and well, here I still am.
Here you
doing
are.
That.
Yeah. And what were kind of the origins then, and how have you kind of evolved over this almost 20 years? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been from very humble beginnings. Mm-hmm. We started with a $5,000 grant from Pfizer, funnily enough.
Oh, nice.
Which was very cool.
Yes.
And we offered a summer camp and a few community ensembles that are non-audition based.
Oh, nice.
So we want to make sure that everyone had access, regardless of their talent or their ability to pay or their background, that they could find a home for music expression and self-expression. And so it's kind of evolved from there quite organically, as you can imagine, with that little funding.
Yeah.
So finally in 2010, we got our own facility. We're down in Sorrento Valley. And, next year it looks like we're going to be making a big expansion.
Nice. And, congratulations.
We got some funding from the Prebis Foundation. And we've just started looking at additional facilities out in the East County.
Oh, great.
Oh, so you're going to keep the one in Sorrento Valley and just expand it in East County.
Yeah, we didn't want to alienate our current clientele. We have over 400 students coming through on a weekly basis for private lessons, and then probably another 150 to 175 doing a group class or one of those ensembles that I talked about earlier. So it's a kind of thriving environment. So we didn't want to quash that and move. We wanted to replicate it and kind of show the East County people what we can do.
Yeah. Well, I love that. My mother-in-law lives in Sorrento Valley. I'm in East County, and then I saw something about Point Loma, which is where my office is. So thank you for moving to all the areas that I frequent. So I really appreciate that. So what is going on with Point Loma? I saw that somewhere.
Yeah. So we just started, actually this week was our first week of classes for the fall quarter, and we just opened Wednesdays and Saturdays down at All Souls Episcopal Church.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Ruben Valenzuela is a really well-known local musician and conductor of the Bach Collegium, and he's a dear friend, and he reached out and he said, there isn't a lot of music education down here since the pandemic took out a couple of really nice places down at Liberty Station.
Yeah.
And, what do you think we could do together? And I was like, wow, maybe we can expand.
Yeah.
So that's what we've started doing. We have a very few number of students at the moment because the word is still spreading.
Sure.
So any help with that would be greatly
That's why we're doing this over here.
Yeah.
So if was music in your background, with your parents, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, pets, whatever, were they, or Or listen, you're the first one who took both feet in and did a swan dive into this field.
Well, my mum's very musical. She's 85 now. She still goes out once a week to her community chorus.
Nice.
And she's very musical, but she was a teacher and music was a hobby. And my dad's an engineer and no longer an engineer. He's retired and unable to do that now. But both loved music and I was grateful and very blessed to have the exposure to all of the things music that I was interested in.
No, I think that's great. We're chatting with Fiona Chatwin, Executive and Artistic Director for Villa Musica. She's been doing this since 2005. She's also the founder in this. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by the very cool people at Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things in San Diego County. Whether it is art, whether it is literacy, whether it's food insecurity, they are just they're shoulder to shoulder with people that need some support. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary. What organizations do you work and you collaborate with? We've had, Guitars and Ukes in the classroom in a few times. Do you work with them and other groups like that?
We don't actually work with that particular group,
right.
Although I think we're definitely, Jessica and I know each other and we have similar missions.
100%.
Yeah, and that's sort of one of the things that I've been really proud of over the years is that we don't really try and step on anyone else's turf. Collaboration is what it's all about in the nonprofit sector, as you can imagine.
I do.
And as you know.
Right.
But we do collaborate with a lot of other organizations like the Visual and Performing Arts Department over at San Diego Unified.
In fact, they're always on the show. They're great. Ken.
Oh, my gosh, amazing. So Anne Fennell and Russ Sperling and the whole gang over there, they're just 100% behind us. We go in and provide coaching for their teachers. Some of their teachers are just completely overwhelmed when they start the year. They've got 40 kids in the class that don't know which end of the flute to play. So we'll send in a coach. We'll do it depending on whether there's some block grant money or sometimes we just do it completely for free with our funding.
Right.
We also partner with all of these city libraries across the county. I'm sure you know. We have satellite programs where all of our programming is completely free.
Wow.
And we offer each participant in those programs an instrument so they can practice. So they don't have to buy an instrument and they don't have to pay tuition. They just come along, they register, and they get an excellent education, just like the people in Sorrento Valley, just like the people in Point Loma, except these satellites are in, Logan Heights and City Heights and areas where access isn't as broad.
Well, and I think you've heard me say this before. I know certainly Kristen has the arts in general, but especially music. I think I was born with it in my DNA, to say the least. I can't play a lick of anything. I stink. I don't care. And Jessica always tells me, well, because you don't try. I go, well, you're about right on that one. But music is such an equalizer, and it sits there and it levels the playing field almost instantly. Talk about that.
Well, it sounds like you and I went to the same.
We did. Well, you're a lot smarter than me.
Well, I don't know about that.
Even though that bar is not that high, I got to tell you. So,
but the leveling the playing field idea is really what kind of inspired me to do this work, and it's been my vision that it doesn't matter whether you live in La Jolla and Del Mar, Logan Heights, Linda Vista, City Heights, when you come together at our community. All School Recital, which we have one coming up.
And I'll hear about that
Every
too.
child is standing next to another child at the same level. Doesn't matter whether they own their violin or it's been given to them by us, but they're all learning this universal language of music. And it surpasses and rises above, language disparity and socioeconomic disparity. And it just is something, like you said, that just really levels the playing field.
It really does. And Chris and I talk about this quite a bit on the show. We were just talking to, Tanya Mantooth. She's a CEO and artistic director for literally the nationally renowned San Diego International Film Festival. Big focus, of course, on one of the huge crises in this world, obviously mental health. And what you folks do is certainly address that as well. Talk about that.
Well, we do. I think, when children when you have children and, a family can't afford to give their children everything that they want their children to have access to, it can be very distressing. So I think that creating access and creating accessibility to education is absolutely paramount. I mean, that is so important. But in addition to that, we have a program called Encore, which is dedicated to our senior older adult population here in San Diego, which, as you know, is a very growing population.
Yes.
And one of our programs is dedicated to people living with dementia. And so Musical Biographies was designed back in 2017 in collaboration with the Alzheimer's Disease Research Centre over at UCSD. And this program brings together people living with dementia and their care partner, and that can be a spouse, a child, a friend, a colleague, whoever decides to come. And they put together a playlist of music that sort of awakens and invigorates the person living with dementia. And then they create a book of memories and textiles and artwork that brings that playlist to life. And I think that is, talk about well-being and mental health, that is not only a beautiful takeaway for the person living with dementia, but the opportunity for the care partner to do something other than shipping the person with dementia around to doctor's appointments and tests, and just for them to let go of the disease for a couple of hours and just come together and make art and music together.
Right. Well, so you'll laugh at this. You and I obviously did not talk about this beforehand, but as Kristen knows, this is something we talk about incessantly on our Spotlight show. There's 600,000 caregivers in San Diego County. 300,000 of them look like us. We never trained to be a caregiver, but we've got a parent or a brother, a sister, whatever, that has had some issue. Could be Alzheimer's, could be dementia, could be an accident. And now you are a caregiver, and your whole life has just been turned around. And now you got this opportunity to see your mom or dad or grandpa, grandmother smile because this song just triggered something and a big smile. When we come back from break, I want to talk about the recital that is coming up. And as you know, Fiona, we all want to save some time to have our listeners, listen and embrace what can we do to support your efforts. So be thinking about that as well. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
We'll be right back with Fiona Chatwin. She's the executive and artistic director for Villa Musica. They are going to be entering their 20th year in 2025. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlossberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Been doing great things in San Diego County for more than 6 decades. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are now in our 18th year, the nation's longest-running community podcast. So thrilled to have back in the studio with us Fiona Chatwin. She's the executive and artistic director for Villa Musica, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year in Liberty Station. Kristen.
So I want to talk about the All School Recital, but I want to make sure, since you have so many different programs and everything, that we're not leaving something out, an age range or something. So are there any other programs, that you want to chat about?
I mean, everything just sort of circles around access, and access doesn't necessarily mean, just being able to take a lesson. It just means that everybody is welcome. Mm-hmm. We used to say from pre-K to grey, but it really does run the gamut. And I think that's what a community music centre should do. So that's what we've been working on and really striving to do since day one.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah, let's talk about the All School Recital then.
Yeah, so on Sunday, February 24th, we're going to be presenting our end of quarter recital. So we run these programs, these education programs in 10-week cycles. And so it starts at 1 p.m. with our guitar program, and then there's a little break, and then at 2:30 we have all of our strings coming together, and then we also have the vocal program starting at about 4 o'clock. Did I say November the 24th?
You said February.
Oh, shoot. There's another one in February. My bad.
I'm not a math person. Otherwise, I would have been like 10 weeks. That's probably, so.
I'm so sorry.
No.
It is, the next one is November the 24th. The one after that is February 23rd.
You're an executive, you're just always thinking in, further out.
I got the ones planned for 25 if you want me to give those dates as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. November the 24th. So right before Thanksgiving week, we'll be doing that at the City Heights Weingart Library Annex.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which is fantastic space because you can zip up the roller door and then face the recital out to the park. Mm-hmm. So it makes it even more accessible. People can bring a blanket or a lawn chair and sit down and enjoy the music. They can stay for, the guitars or come for the violins but everybody's welcome, and it's free, of course.
I was going to ask that question.
Lots of families come. Yeah, lots of families come. I've never seen so many frilly socks in my life. There's lots of party dresses.
So take note, Drew.
Yeah, bring your frilly
socks and party dress.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to have to Google Philly socks to see what that is. And I do have a party dress, but
there you
I
go.
only wear it on special occasions.
And this is a special occasion.
This is special, yeah.
Sure.
Well, there you go. The gauntlet has been thrown. And we'll see if I can do it November 24. And it starts at 1 o'clock, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, what's the website?
Oh, villamusica.org.
Okay, so everything is on there, all the things in between, how you sign up. You mentioned you work with about 400 students. Is that correct?
Well, it's about 450 taking. Children come, their parents want them to have music lessons, but we have adults coming in.
Right.
They've just had a massive career and the kids are grown up and they're like, okay, well, it's my turn now. I've always wanted to learn the cello, and they come in and we have an adult cello class for absolute beginners. And they come in and, they all sound like they're sawing their cellos in half, and that's totally fine. It's
part of the process, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, with my trajectory in my own career, this elitist sort of focus that I had when I finished UCSD. I wanted to flip it on its ear and celebrate amateur music making.
Right.
Yeah.
What instrument do you play?
I'm actually a singer.
Oh, well, that's
an
instrument. Your voice is. I'm going to call that. And that. So you never played an instrument?
Oh, no, I play the piano as well.
Right.
And then I play a terrible violin.
I doubt that.
No, I just joined the Villa Musica mariachi ensemble, and I really am terrible. And
oh my gosh, I want to join a mariachi.
So the mariachi ensemble is
nice.
part of the programming at the Logan Heights Satellite Libraries.
How fun.
Yeah, we have about 22 people registered.
Oh my gosh.
And with some support from Las Patronas a few years ago, we bought the big guitarron and the vihuelas, and So we've got the actual instruments, and it's a beautiful program. We have grandpas and granddaughters in the group because it's multi-generational. We have fathers and sons, and it's really, again, that same vibe, inclusivity, give it a try.
That sounds so fun.
It is. It's really, well, my first week is this Saturday.
Ooh.
So I've been practicing. It's not pretty, but I'm going to do it.
Awesome.
So, do you ever team up with other organizations to put on joint concerts, so to speak? One of our favorite guests is, and I always misspell his name or pronounce his name, Raul Pietra Ramirez. He is the civic organist for San Diego, and he does all the organ work.
Down at Balboa Park.
That's him.
Oh, wow.
And he is a really cool cat, and he brings in. They've just formed the Spreckles Organ Society rock band, and we had the musicians in here. They didn't bring their instruments in, but we were chatting with them. And do you work with groups like that at all?
We haven't been collaborating as such in that way, but we do, because we do a summer orchestra program, which is kind of a pickup band of all of the local musicians whose orchestras stop for the summer. So we've had lots of opportunity to create some really good concerts, and we have local musicians come in and collaborate.
Sure.
But one of the things we do collaborate, it's a very important program, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, is the Link Up program, and we collaborate with the La Jolla Symphony.
Okay.
And this program has a curriculum that comes out of Carnegie Hall, and the children in third grade actually this year it's going to be 10 schools that we're working in.
Nice.
All learn curriculum. They get their little recorders out and they learn some music that they then get to play with the symphony at the final concert.
Wow.
So the symphony players are on stage playing their orchestral music, and last year it was, the orchestra was playing one of the Hoffman Baccarat, da 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 da, right? And then the recorders go honk honk. It's so cute, and they sing along with the orchestra, and they're playing with this full symphony. So we're really thrilled to collaborate with Stephanie Weaver and the gang over at La Jolla Symphony.
Yeah, exactly. Question?
Yeah. So I see that you're still accepting registration for classes.
Yeah. So classes did start this week, but we have a policy where we would allow people to continue to register until the end of week 2.
Okay.
So our final drop dead date for this quarter is the 29th of September.
Right.
Which is also kind of a special date. I don't know if you know this, but the San Diego Symphony new Jacobs Music Center is opening, and they have a big community day that day.
Nice.
And Villa Musica has been invited to collaborate and perform. Some of our kids get to play on their new stage.
Oh, how exciting.
Fun.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
What can our listeners do to continue to support the great work you're doing?
Oh, my gosh. We're always looking for new board members. Especially right now, we're looking for some East County connected board members because we really want to talk to the
You're
county.
East County, aren't you, Kristen?
I am.
Okay, very good.
You might have a new board job coming your way.
Well.
Very, very good.
Well, you're an executive director. I know how busy you are. So maybe not you, but someone you know.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We'll talk offline. Yeah.
Yes.
But we also, I couldn't be a good executive director if I didn't mention money.
100%.
Obviously,
Yes.
buying new instruments, they're expensive.
Right.
We're having, a lot of fundraising going on around our new facility. We have naming rights coming up for once we've identified the space, we'll be kind of bringing people in to have a look. We just received naming rights for our new recital hall at our new facility.
Can you say it, or is it a
No,
is
it's
it a
all
spoiler?
under wraps.
Okay,
Next time.
No spoiler alert on that.
I'll be able to spill the beans next time.
I'll look forward to that, absolutely. And the website again? How do they get
villamusica.org.
Well, it's always good seeing you, for you're so full of energy. We didn't get a chance to talk about your 4-month sojourn, but maybe next time we'll do that. And Fiona, thank you for everything you're doing for the kids, the parents, the seniors in San Diego County. I love the fact that you have an upward trajectory. What I'd love to do at your convenience is bring in somebody who's benefited from this. I'd love to have a senior come in, or maybe a caregiver that works with a senior. That's where the truth is, and all that. So if that's okay with you, next time you're on, maybe you can bring someone.
Oh, I'd love to do that. That would be such an honor.
consider that a done deal. Fiona Chatwin, great seeing you. Wishing you nothing but continued success. That recital is November 24th. Go look at it in the on the website and support this wonderful organization. We'll look forward to having you make a return appearance.
Thank you so much.
You bet. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlossberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things in San Diego County. Kristen Fogel, as always, thank you for co-hosting, and we hope everybody enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlossberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.